Hi guys, it's Annie B here again. Today I am going to do a blindness video, and this is going to be the top 10 myths about blindness. So if you want more of this content, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little red subscribe button. I'll love you forever, I promise. And also I subscribe back. So hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment for any more videos that you might want about blindness. If you have any questions, anything like that, let me know. Leave a drop a comment below, and I will try my best to make a video. So these are just my top 10 myths about blindness that I've encountered. I want to let you guys know that I don't speak for every blind person ever, obviously, because I'm only me, Annie B. Hey, that rhymed. So my number one myth is we want to feel your face. Okay, that is a myth. That is a myth. I mean, maybe there are blind people somewhere that do want to feel your face. I don't know. I'm not one of them. I think that is from a movie, like Scent of a Woman or something like that. A lot of people's blindness stereotypes come from movies, and that's one of them. If you watched my Freeman Feeling Beautiful mask review, I did talk about a traumatizing experience I had when someone didn't take no for an answer and made me feel their face. So I will link that in the description box below and you can take a look at that. The next one is also from a movie. We judge how you look from your wrist size. I believe that was Ray Charles, and he would like, do this, I'm like grabbing my wrist in case you can't see it and you are also blind. And that apparently is how they judged whether a girl was thin or pretty or some ridiculousness. I don't do that. There might be people who do that, but I've never really seen anyone do it in real life. The next myth is that we all need the same kind of help. So I've had people say, well, I had a blind friend and this is how they walked. And I was like, no, I would prefer to do it this way. Or, because one person needs one thing doesn't mean that someone else doesn't need something different. It depends on your level of vision. For me, I have light perception. It can depend on what we need done and how we're used to having things done. Generally, we'll let you know. And if we say like, hey, I would prefer to do it another way, it's not because we're being mean or rude and we're like, wow, you're not helping me correctly. It's just so that we can be more efficient. The next myth is that we are in constant need of help from friends and strangers. Generally, if we need help, we're going to ask for it, okay? I've definitely had people say, do you need help? And I'm like, no, thank you. And they're like, okay, I'm going to help you. Okay, I'm going to help you, because you obviously don't know if you need help. We know, okay? We will generally ask you if we need help, what kind of help we need. And if you ask if we need help and we say no, please don't take that as us being mean or rude or not trying to, but we may just be good. We may just not need the help, okay? Number 5, we think any joke about blindness is offensive. For me personally, I feel like I can either laugh about things or I can cry about things, so I prefer to laugh about them. And this is one of my biggest things. I am a huge blind joke maker. Like, I usually do it to make people comfortable. I do it at work all the time. I present lessons, so I usually start one of those off with a blind joke. Only because, honestly, not only does it make people laugh, but it makes them more comfortable, and that's, that's definitely something that's important. Number 6 is we only date our own kind. Okay, well that means if you're blind, you have to date a blind person. If you're sighted, you have to date a sighted person. So that's ridiculous, okay? Or on the flip side, we only want to date sighted people so that they're gonna take care of us. I mean, I can do that all by myself, okay? So I can take care of myself. I've never in my life wanted to find a companion just so that they could take care of me. I have dated blind guys. I have hung out with sighted guys. And really, the thing is, people think, oh, they got together because they're blind. No, that's just why we knew each other, okay? When things click, they click, and when they don't, they don't. So I definitely would say that that's a big myth, that people are either looking for sighted people or looking for blind people specifically. The next myth is we can't hear. What? Did you get that? I said we can't hear. Okay, that is a huge myth, okay? I don't know how many times I've gone somewhere and my mom's like, she's blind, she can't see that. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, there are people that are blind and deaf. There are people that have multiple disabilities, but generally if we just say we're blind, it doesn't mean we can't hear. It also doesn't mean we can't walk up the stairs, or I don't know how many people have said, oh, you're blind, you need to take the elevator. And I try to tell them, like, no, it's okay, I can take the stairs, I can walk them. Like, I'm walking right now, you see this. I've actually been put into a wheelchair at an airport because they decided I should not be walking. And that was a really traumatizing experience. They literally like pushed me into it and decided that I did not need to walk. We can walk, we can hear, unless we tell you otherwise. Like I said, there are definitely people that are multiply disabled, but don't assume just because you have one disability, you have all of them. The next myth is, I believe we're at number 8 now. Hi, I can't count. Blind people have superhuman senses. So this is kind of the flip side. Some people think we can't do anything, and some people think we can do everything. I can probably hear better than you, but really it's not because I have superhuman senses. It's because I've had to spend my entire life depending on my ears where my eyes should have been. So I have picked up more things. I've picked up, I have to know when traffic is parallel to me and when it's perpendicular, so I know when to cross the street. I have to hear things like that so I know where I'm located. So those are things that I've spent my life picking up on. I read with my fingers, so my sense of touch has probably been a little bit more honed than yours, but they're not superhuman. Number 8 is we all use the same kind of technology. Now, what I'm using right now is an iPhone. Actually, I stole my friend Katie's iPhone, my wife. Hey girl.
Hello.
I stole her iPhone and it's speaking to me right now. But also sometimes I use a Braille note, which is a computer with Braille on it, and I'll definitely make a video showing you guys that if you want to see it. And sometimes I use a screen reader on my computer, like at work. That's what I use. It's a screen reader called JAWS for Windows, and it makes my computer speak like a robot. And also I have a Mac, and that has Alex in his voice. Its name is Alex, and its voice is a robot. And it depends. So sometimes older people might want only Braille. Sometimes younger kids, they can just grab an iPad and they can do whatever it is that they need to do. Just because you do something differently than someone else doesn't make it wrong. Like, if I need to know what color something is, maybe it's just gonna be easier for me to go, Mom, what color is this? Hey, wife, Katie, what color is this? By the way, we're not legally married, we just call each other wives. Anyway, or I can use an app on my phone that'll tell me what color it is, but I can't be certain if it's telling me the exact right color. Sometimes it's easier to have someone help you, sometimes it's easier to do it yourself. It really depends on how you want to do things. So just because sometimes you see one person with a cane. I use a cane, it's pink, I'll show it to you in another video. I use a cane. A lot of other YouTubers, blind YouTubers I know, use guide dogs. Molly Burke, I believe, uses a guide dog. Lucy Edwards uses a guide dog. I have a lot of friends that use a guide dog. For me, I just particularly didn't want, because I really used to want a guide dog, but I'm a little bit allergic to dogs, so that's not super helpful. And then also, guide dogs are a lot of work. Like, a lot of people don't know that you have to keep them on a schedule. They have to eat at the same time. They have to go to the bathroom at the same time whenever possible. So I choose to use a cane. I just fold it up and I go, and I unfold it when I need it, okay? But everyone does things differently. So I'm not doing blindness wrong if I'm using a cane, just like someone else is not doing blindness wrong if they're using a guide dog. And the last myth that we have is, if you've met one blind person, you've met us all. I can't tell you how many people have thought that. Blind people are just like anyone else. We all have different strengths and different weaknesses and different mental acuities. And I can't tell you, first of all, how many people think blind people all know each other. Like, oh yes, I know Bob from Australia. He and I are friends because he's blind. Like, no, I don't know Bob from Australia that's blind. You can tell me about your blind friend, but I probably don't know him if they live on the other side of the world. We all have different strengths. We have different weaknesses. Me, personally, I like to sing. There might be a lot of blind people that don't like to sing. I like to make videos. There's tons of blind people that don't want anything to do with making videos. We're just people, essentially. So you can just take the blind right off of that. We're just normal people. We all have different strengths. We all have different weaknesses. We all have different abilities and disabilities. And so basically, just because you met me or you watched my video doesn't mean that you know exactly what it's like to be blind for another person, because some people, like I was born blind, so I've been like this forever. Some people lost their vision. I personally couldn't imagine that. It would be such an adjustment for me. You know, and everybody's got different levels of sight, different levels of comfort with blindness, and we've all been blind for different amounts of time. So basically, when you met one blind person, you just met one blind person. Okay, that's it. So that's all I have. Those are my top 10 blindness myths. So if you like this content, please let me know. If you have any questions about blindness, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I do want to do a frequently asked questions from you guys. Definitely Facebook me at Annie B Videos. You can follow me at Annie B Videos on Twitter, and Instagram, Annie B Videos. There's no spaces in the Instagram one or the Twitter one. So drop a comment on this video, subscribe. I have, I think, 31 or 32 subscribers now, so I'm trying to get to 100. Maybe something cool will happen when we get to 100, but I have to get there first. So that is all I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.